Now I entered in here after this buy imbalance and kept my stop here. I got pretty close to getting stopped out, but I was convicted to say, this is the value area low. I'm okay with being wrong, because if we do come and create a power trade, deep effort, deep trades through this level, and we see sellers initiated, great. I could just take the short and accept the loss, but it didn't happen. So as a matter of fact, I got 20, 30 points out of it instead. You got to make sure everything is aligned. The context, the location, the confirmation. Always, always, always. The framework is the reason that the order flow works, because the order flow is just telling us who's in control, but it's all from the location. It's all from the overall picture. It's not a mechanical entry model. It is a thought process that allows you to see and align everything together to know where the market's going. All right, what's going on, everybody? In this video, I'm going to show you my exact framework for taking literally every single trade that I use for the entire year of 2026. Nothing has changed since my last video, but I want to show you the exact thought process. My intentions on this video are to keep it shorter. I'm going to do a much longer video on this, but these are practical uses that you can apply to any session, any asset, and exactly how to apply the high time frame narrative all the way down to entering the trade, knowing where to exit, knowing where to hold, where to trail, where to scale, all of the above. I took a break in December. I went home, saw my family, but I have like 3 videos that I've recorded and I can't wait to get them to you, but I thought this is going to be the best one to get out right now. So before we get started, I want to go ahead and show you kind of my stats, what I'm working with right now. I'm up on this My Funded Future account, 6K total with a 68% win rate. Average winning trade is 600. The average loser is 300. So about a 2R, 68% win rate. I'm taking a payout on that account tonight. Then this account on Top Step, I'm up about 10K, 75% win rate, 2R, taking a payout on that tonight. And then these other 2, I'm taking a payout tomorrow on. So 50% win rate, 3.5R, 50% win rate, 4R, right? So this is how I frame every trade. So it's going to be using 3 softwares, obviously Deep Charts that you guys have seen me use. I am using Quant Tower as well, and then good old TradingView. I know a lot of order flow guys are like, why would you use TradingView? Because it's not real volume and it's tick data instead of level 2. Look, I get it. But one, some people don't have Deep Charts or Quant Tower and they still want to know the thought process. And I think TradingView is free. It's really good for being able to see the levels that you want to trade from. And it's good enough for me to do my charting on just for the higher time frame narrative. Of course, you can do it on Deep Charts as well, but I still use it and I'm still going to use it. I don't care. Also, people ask why I use Quant Tower if I have Deep Charts. I think Deep Charts has so many great benefits, but I think there are some things that I see on Quant Tower that visually just make it easier for me to see, like the power trades, the imbalances. I like the way that they look. I like the way that they stand out and how they drag out farther so you can see higher time frame support. And I'll go through those examples with you as well. So I'm going to go through an example on NQ from last week on Friday, and then gold, a couple examples last week as well. This is the entire framework. So we're going to start on TradingView. We're going to start, I'm going to make myself smaller, starting on TradingView, and I'm going to go on the hour time frame. Cool. So if we're going to go over Friday of last week, what is the kind of narrative of the market? And I know my chart's a little messy. I'm going to explain it real quick. How I see this is if last week, which started Sunday to Friday, up until this point, we're in a very balanced range. What I mean is we have consolidation with a push up, consolidation with a push up. We did run through it, come back, consolidate, and push up. This is a strong area of demand to me. We see the same thing on the upper end, right? Every time for the last 2 months that we've tried to push up to this point of control of the all-time high profile and the upper end of the value area high, we're not able to see buying effort push through it. We're not able to see initiation. And that's kind of the framework of every single trade that I take is, are we initiating through this level? Are we seeing acceptance or are we seeing response? Are we seeing the other side step in? And that's how I want to apply it, not just to supply demand, high time frame value areas, but at levels of the intraday, of internal support resistance, VWAP, deviation bands, everything that I look for. Are we initiating? Are we accepting? Or are we seeing the other party step in? That's how I'm going to frame. That's how I'm going to scale. That's how I'm going to trail on every single trade. So we know that this supply zone is continuing to get lower, right? This was the area we've rejected out of. We did spend a little bit more time up here, but now coming into Friday, we know we're actually not able, we're spending even less time up here. And now the zone is getting smaller, but we're still not able to buy up into this level. So going into Friday, what do we see in the overnight? We came down to this level of demand at the end of day. And then throughout the overnight, we saw a basically strong push up the entire night. So what does that tell us? The overnight inventory is net long. If I go to the 5 minute, we're going to see the same exact thing, right? The overnight inventory is net long. This entire overnight profile was bullish. And you know what? Let me get rid of this profile real quick so you can see exactly what I'm seeing. We will draw the overnight profile from 6 up to 925, right? Overnight profile is very thin. The lower end of the value area, not much volume here. It was just pretty steady buy volume, but not a lot of interest here. And the volume profile, the value area is up here in this block. So what am I looking for to take a long? What am I looking for to take a short in this example? Well, one, if this is the overnight profile and this is the value area, knowing that we're in higher time frame supply where we've seen a lack of acceptance and initiation from buyers, well, if we see lack of initiation from buyers here and we sell off, lack of initiation from buyers here, we sell off, lack of initiation, all the above, and we continue to sell off, I'm going to have to see something different here from buyers, because if we see a lack of initiation, and I'll show you what that looks like on the order flow, then why would I expect a different result if I'm not seeing a difference in the order flow? If the volume is not going to be different than what it's been in the past, I can expect more of the same. Buyers aren't interested in this price once sellers step in. Well, yeah, we get the sell off. What else could give me a bias here for shorts other than just the location? Well, one, because the overnight inventory was so net long and we have settlement down here at this price, then if the market is going to rebalance and come down to fill some of this overnight inventory, it's going to do so pretty quick. The rebalancing is going to happen fast. That gives us an advantage on shorts. It also gives us an advantage on longs, because if we don't see an initial rebalance and we don't see the market come down to settlement, or at least come down to the lower end of this value area, and we do see buyers accept, cool. Now we have upwards targets, which is a 100-point difference. So either way, what the open is going to look like here is going to be a dictation of, is the market going to go up or down, especially considering we're in supply and we have a lot of low volume below us that it would be pretty easy for sellers to move through if buyers don't step in and sellers do. So that's just the framework. If we see acceptance above value area high in this supply, cool. We got upwards targets. If we see a lack of initiation and we see sellers step in, we have a pretty good idea of where the market's going to go to. Now we will go to deep charts. It's going to be the same thing, right? I have a high time frame profile with which this is a 2-month composite. I went ahead and put on a weekly volume profile for this time. So what it looks like is this is where the market's about to open. We have the weekly point of control, which is right where we're opening at. Are we going to see some kind of acceptance? Are we going to see some buyers step in? And we know that if we just drag it out from this POC up to this level, sellers are in control looking at the delta profile. We also know this whole lower end of the weekly profile, if we are able to get back into where these sellers are, we could have a pretty clean move down because sellers have been factored in here before and it's led to some sell-offs. If we were to able to accept through this and come back up to where buyers may have been interested in the past, where would be the next target? Back into the sellers, upwards to the buyers, but we know on the upper end, there's not much acceptance from buyers up here either. So I want to see from this level, which side do we see rewarded? Which side is not rewarded? So we have the higher time frame context, right? We're in a pretty balanced range between sellers and buyers. Location, we're at an area where we've continued to sell off and have seen a lack of interest from buyers. So now I need confirmation. Are buyers going to step in, finally initiate, buy us up? Or are sellers going to step in and do the response that we've been seeing where we failed to accept through this zone? That's the two scenarios. So then we go into the overnight profile. I want to show you the same thing. I'm on the 5 minute, of course. You can see the same thing that we saw on TradingView, right? Overnight inventory, this was settlement, very net long, not a lot of volume. And now that we're in the point of control of this range, you can see there's more buying and selling activity. Are we going to be able to accept through the overnight profile? And that's going to look like us coming up into this area that we've seen failed buying. Or are we going to see sellers step through the value area, reclaim where the sellers are on the delta profile, and then to have a obvious target down here, or even weekly value area lows, weekly VWAPs, etc. So we're going to use the 5 minute. We'll use the range chart. And of course, if you wanted to go on the 1 minute too, and I'll show you that on Quant Tower, you'll see the same exact thing. So obviously we're just getting into it. We know the location, we know the context, but before you get into the order flow, you better make sure you know how to frame the trade. You can read order flow, but if it's not at the right location, if it's not in a key level, if it's not in alignment with where the market's wanting to go, it's going to be a lower quality trade anyways. You got to make sure everything is aligned. The context, the location, the confirmation. Always, 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 right? So we see open. Do we see buying initiation? No. Because if I'm just looking at the deep trades, it's majority sellers. The CVD is going down and the total volume is a negative delta on this candle. Next candle, do we see initiation from buyers? No, it's a red candle. The delta's red, CVD is going down. Next candle, candle's red, CVD is red. No initiation from buyers. Next candle, we finally get buying volume, right? This is just on the 5 minute. We see buyers step in, we see sellers step in, and we have a doji. So there's a fight. There's a fight at this level. We know that we're rejecting out of high time frame area where sellers have stepped in. We're not buying through weekly POC, but maybe you're saying, I want to see selling through overnight VWAP. I want to see selling through the value area low. I want to see these sellers relieved before I take a short because I know that there is buying in the market. Next 5 minute candle, obviously, buy imbalance gets completely disrespected. Sellers now sell through VWAP of the overnight weekly value area low. We see a sell imbalance come in and sellers step in. Right? It's that simple. I know it's hindsight, but I took this trade live in my Discord. We hit TP in probably 5 to 10 minutes. It was very easy. It's going to see the same thing on the range chart, right? Let's go to 930. As we push up to weekly POC, what do we have? Well, we have buying effort, but at the very highs, there's a buy imbalance. No deep trades, no buying effort. But when sellers step in, we move down. There's more buying effort here, which is going to align with this profile. We see the deep effort. Do we have follow through? Do we see deep trades out of it? Do we see buy imbalances? We do. Do the buy imbalances hold? Are they respected? And are they creating follow through back up through the value area high or the POC or in this level of supply? We don't. We don't, because every buy imbalance has an immediate sell reaction. I don't want to sell until I see selling effort through VWAP, because VWAP is the same for me as I need to see initiation from sellers. I know the buyers aren't interested at a key level, and I know that we're overall bearish in this location, but I still want to see sellers step in through something like VWAP and value area low to show me, okay, sellers are trapping the buyers. They now have an intention of moving the market down. So then we come through VWAP. We now see buyers try to step in at VWAP with sell imbalances, with a sell effort zone after running through a buy effort zone out of the high time frame, value area high, POC, supply. And then we see failed buying yet again and sellers rewarded. That's the trade. That's the trade every single time. And that's where I got in. I got in at like 806-ish. Stop at this high. Targeted 721. It was weekly value area low. It was an easy trade. The other thing that I want to say is I use Quant Tower. Why? Because you can see the levels, I think, just as good. So now we have more alignment here. So we know that the level was the weekly value, the weekly POC, session, value area high time frame area of resistance or supply. And now if we look at our levels on Quant, it kind of gives us more information. This is the 5 minute chart. What do we see? At these highs, we have a lot of power trades. Inside those power trades, what do we see? And I'm going back a little bit. A lot of selling volume. Do we see buy imbalances out of it? No. Do we see sellers rewarded through this level? Yes, we do actually. So we know that this is a strong area of resistance. And then we see selling ripping through buy imbalances, creating sell imbalances. Great. Come back up to this level. Do we see buy imbalances through it? No. Do we see selling out of it? We do. Then we sell off. Okay. And that's been the theme every time that we've been in this zone. Every time that we've come in this zone, are there buy imbalances through this level showing initiation, showing continuation? No. We just keep seeing response from sellers. Right? So now we come to Friday, right? Zone keeps getting smaller. Same thing here. We're back up at this level that we continue to reject out of. This is the day before. What do we see? Well, I don't see buy imbalances. I do see buying effort on these power trades, but I'm not seeing any follow through. And then when sellers step in and sell through VWAP, okay, there's a buy imbalance here. There's a power trade here. Does it have follow through and push us to the highs? No. Maybe I want this level to get ran through because I know there's a lot of buying effort that's been rewarded, trapping these sellers. So I would need to see a sell imbalance and a sell power trade through this level. On deep charts, it would look like a effort zone and deep trades, right? Imbalances, all the same. But I think it's very easy to see here. And we know the context of where the market's at already, and we've seen the lack of buying before. So I want to see a sell imbalance through this level. Okay, now we have a sell imbalance and a power trade. Sell effort zone would be there on deep charts through VWAP with failure to push the highs in an area of resistance. I would assume that we're going to go short, right? And we do, because buyers aren't buying and then sellers are being rewarded. It's that simple. Same thing going on to the next profile. Coming into Friday, what do we know? Well, one, we have the sell effort zone that caused the fuel yesterday or the day before, right? Selling through VWAP, and this level's held. It has been a very strong level. So we come up to it at open or pre-market. We try to come up. Do we see a power trade or buy imbalance through this level? We don't. What else do we see? We see a volume tail, right? A lot of aggressive buying on the way up, lack of buying at the highs, flip of the candle where sellers step in and actually sell us back down. Do we see a sell imbalance out of it? We don't. It's pre-market. There's one. Now, same thing, coming into market open. One, there's a buy imbalance up here. What does it look like? Failure to push the market up. So this is where buyers have been trapped. Why is it a buy imbalance? Because there is a lot of buying effort here, but the result didn't have follow through. It didn't have a push up, and we saw aggressive selling out of it. This is a level where buyers have been trapped the day before. So if we don't see buy imbalances through it, power trades through it, deep trades through it, acceptance, initiation through this level, we can expect more of the same. But did we even push up? We didn't even push all the way up to this level. We got pretty close. Do we see buy imbalances? Do we see deep effort? Well, we already looked, but we didn't see deep effort through this level. We didn't see power trades through this level. We didn't even see deep trades through this level. No buying initiation happened through this level. But we know that there's VWAP below us. We'd want to see what? Power trades through it. We'd want to see sell effort zone through it. We'd want to see sell imbalances through it. It's all the same thing. The second that we get through VWAP, what do we have? Power trade with aggressive selling, imbalance created, and we're running through a buy imbalance. So buyers are trapped, don't have initiation at POC, weekly value area high, supply. I'm going to keep saying it because the framework is the reason that the order flow works. We can see the information, but if it's not an application of what the market context is, it's not going to be as high quality. This short works because we know buyers aren't accepting through the weekly value area high POC supply. That's why this is so important. And we know what the market's done in the past. Then we see now failed buying at VWAP, selling rewarded through VWAP, through buy imbalances, and a sell imbalance is created. Sellers are obviously in control here. That is an easy short. What do? We sell all the way back off into a bunch of stacked buy imbalances. Now we see failed selling here. It would make sense we push back up. Where? To the sell imbalance. Do we accept through the sell imbalance? Do we see power trades through it? Do we see buy imbalances through it? We see a power trade through it. Do we see follow through to VWAP now? Do we see a buy imbalance through VWAP? Do we see a deep trade, deep effort, anything, any acceptance or initiation through VWAP? We don't. But now we have a power trade and a sell imbalance. What do we have? Are we accepting? Are we accepting? We're not. And that was just the end of the day. But still, same framework every single trade. We just kind of consolidated the rest of the day. But this was the easiest trade that you can take. The easiest one. Sell imbalance, sell power trade, deep effort that we saw on deep charts through this level, targeting where it was weekly value area low. Because if this is the weekly profile and I was targeting 721, we came down right to the value area low, did see some initial pushback, but we didn't see the deep effort, didn't see power trades, right? This is same level, 721. We saw a buy imbalance cut, or we saw a effort zone come in. Did we see deep effort? No. As soon as we tried to push back up, sell effort zone comes in. Maybe you don't want to get back into the trade until this one's ran through. Now it's ran through with selling. Okay, now I got another pullback. Okay, now there's another pullback here with a buy effort zone. I don't want to be in shorts again until this is ran through or this is ran through. Now it's run through with a sell effort zone. In the already existing trend, we could expect lower prices. And we do. Because the order flow is just telling us who's in control, but it's all from the location. It's all from the overall picture that we could not accept into the POC. We didn't create buy imbalances, bullish order flow into these levels, right? So this is the same framework. You can use this. It's not a mechanical entry model. It is a thought process that allows you to see and align everything together to know where the market's going. And then say, once the order flow aligns with where the auction's going, where the acceptance is, where the lack of participation is there a CVD divergence? What's the pressure? Where's the effort being rewarded? Great. Now I can get in with this trade. That's an example on NQ. I want to go through one on gold now. I'm going to do it for Asia session because I love trading Asia, and I know a lot of people trade gold in Asia. So that will make it a little bit easier for you guys. I'm going to go through last week's example as well. Obviously, high time frame context, we are bullish on gold, right? Every time the market is continuing to raise demand, supply gets ran through. Now we're creating, as we take out all-time highs, we're now supporting all-time highs. And we are continuing to see a lack of breakthrough and initiation on the downside. I'm going to look for longs on gold every time until I see sellers rewarded on the higher time frame. And that was my framework here as well. I'm going to start on TradingView. Obviously, Sunday we gapped open, had a clear push through the recent all-time highs. And in the overnight or in New York session, we had our first area where buyers stopped buying. And then at the end of the day, we came down and came back to this level where we pushed through all-time highs, consolidated, and saw a push up out of it. So for now, I'm saying this range is going to act as demand because once we rip through, we didn't see a complete reversal. We saw buyers fill back in. We saw the market fill orders and saw a push up out of it. So clearly buyers have reclaimed this level where we've rejected out of before, and we're starting to see the market start to support this level. I want a long here if I can see failed selling and buying initiated through this level. That's the framework for every single trade. So we'll go to deep charts and see what it looks like. We'll use an effort zone here as well. Put on daily volume profile. Cool. So same information, right? We're going to use the weekly. We know we gapped up. We ran through all-time highs. We saw consolidation and a push up. I'm using the entire New York session profile at this point. Let me make sure. It's at this level, 18. Right, that's the New York profile. So we see there was a lot of selling in this level, but the result was a push up. We saw a lack of buying at the highs, but we know that we've run through all-time high or through the all-time highs we're supporting, and we continue to be bullish. Metals are bullish. I'm going to look for longs until sellers prove to me that they're going to drop the market down. So at this level, I know what? This is weekly POC or the session POC since it's a Sunday. It's value area low. So I'm looking for acceptance or rejection. I'm looking for initiation or response. Are sellers rewarded through this level, or do we see response and buyers step into the market? As we come into Asia session, and I will draw the profile up until 8 because that's what we're looking for. 8 right here. Yeah. What do we know? Okay, we're rejecting value area high of the Asia session, but we are still holding value area low of the higher time frame and the overnight session. Great. So if we are going to rip through the weekly, the session, the overall bullish trend, and we come down to the value area low of the previous day session, what would that look like? Well, I would want to see sell effort through this level. I'd want to see sell imbalances through this level. I would want to see deep trades of sellers through this level that are rewarded. And then we'll look at it on Quant Tower to see if it's the same thing. But as we come down to the session of the overnight, what we actually see on the profile, and I'll draw it out even more, is some selling effort, but is it rewarded? Absolutely not. As a matter of fact, if you can see the delta on this candle, look at the delta on the rest, right? 200, there's 1,000 here, 700, 300, 1,000 total volume. The delta is a negative 25%. So there's a lot more aggressive selling at this level than there has been in any other point of the session by delta. Is it rewarded? It's not, because the initial reaction is a push up. Then as we try to come back down to this level again, one more push. Is there selling here? No, because we see that the result of the candle is green. So the sellers aren't here to try to push us through this level. This is exhaustion. There's no more selling effort. And we see buyers step back in. That's the long. Once again, I'm showing you examples I took. I live traded this in front of my Discord. What do we see on the range chart? Well, when we initially come down in open, right, this is before Asia, this is Asia, we see a buy effort zone here at this low. So, okay, weekly value area low, session value area low, and it's held by this buy effort zone. So I would want to see what? A sell effort zone, sell imbalance, deep trades from sellers through this level to show us, okay, we're seeing some acceptance from sellers. Because if not, I know overall we're bullish. So I'm going to have to see something different from sellers to show me that they are wanting to drive the market down. Same information. We come down and we do take out the low. However, where's the effort from sellers? Because as a matter of fact, every time we come to this low, we have an initial response from buyers. Here you can see, okay, we had a sell imbalance. There was some selling. Does it have follow through? Does it take out this low? Do we see any initiation? We don't. Because when the selling imbalances come in, we see an immediate buy reaction out of it. Now, I entered in here after this buy imbalance and kept my stop here. I got pretty close to getting stopped out, but I was convicted to say, this is the value area low. I'm okay with being wrong, because if we do come and create a power trade, deep effort, deep trades through this level, and we see sellers initiated, great. I could just take the short and accept the loss, but it didn't happen. So as a matter of fact, I got 20, 30 points out of it instead. What does it look like on Quant Tower? Because I'm telling you guys, Quant Tower is great. You should definitely make sure you're using it if you're not. This was the 12th. Yeah, same spot. Awesome. Let me pull it up on the 1 minute as well so you can see. Perfect. Perfect. So same area, value area low, demand after running through all-time highs. We want to see deep effort, deep trades, imbalances, power trades through this level. And since it's Asia, I'm actually going to drop this back down to 100 just so we can have some more information on it. If I need to drop it even lower, I will as well. Go to 100 here. Cool. Okay, now we have some more information, right? You have to be able to adjust power trades, deep trades in the volatility of the session that you're trading. So what we know is when we had the initial sell-off at open, this is where that deep effort buy zone was. Where did it sell off to? Well, this sell imbalance. What does this sell imbalance mean? Same thing we talked about on NQ. There was clearly a ton of selling aggression here, sell imbalances at the lows, but these sellers are trapped. Why? Because the initial reaction is there's no continuation, and we see a delta flip and we see buying out of it, confirming that these sellers are trapped above VWAP after we've already been so bullish in the overnight. Great, had a push up. Now we see selling back through this zone. A lot of selling comes in at that same imbalance with more aggressive selling. And then we see a volume tail. We see the taper of volume. We see a ton of selling on the downside. Last seller sells. No power trade. This is the power trade. No imbalance is created through it. No follow through. What's the initial reaction of this power trade? We see buying through it. So these sellers are trapped. That's where the deep effort zone was at our value area low. But I want to wait till Asia, right? I want to wait till 8 to 9:30. That's my prime time of trading gold. So we pull back down to this zone at 8. What I see is same imbalance. Another imbalance holds here as well, right? Two stacked imbalances. Once again, what does it look like? Oh, yeah. A lot of selling at this low, but where's the follow through? Because we immediately have a delta flip and the volume flips to green and bulls step in, trapping these sellers in the already existing uptrend, right? So we know this zone is where sellers have been trapped before. That's what the importance of these imbalances are to me. These imbalances are showing me sellers have failed here before, buyers have held here before, vice versa. So if we can't see power trade through this level, if we can't see new sell imbalances through this level, deep trades, deep effort through this level, then those same sellers that were trapped are going to be trapped again, and passive buyers will fill their orders and continue moving the market up. So where exactly do we pull back down to? At Asia low? Pretty close to that imbalance. What do we see? A lot of selling effort. What else do we see? More sellers being trapped, more sellers being trapped, no power trades with follow through. And I'm not just buying immediately with this power trade. I want to see the response. I want to see buyers step in because that's going to confirm that these sellers are trapped. I'm not just waiting for this power trade because the moment this power trade comes in, it looks like, hey, we might sell through this level, but it's the next candle where buyers step in initially after at our location, value area low, deep effort, power trade failing, trapping the sellers with the imbalance. Great. This zone of demand, value area low, is still holding in the already existing uptrend. context, location. Now we see confirmation of sellers not able to rip through this level, create more continuation, and we see buyers trapping them. Great. I'm in this trade. I'm in this trade now. What's it look like on the 1 minute? Even better, right? Multiple power trades. We have an imbalance on the 1 minute now at our higher time frame level. We see the sellers trapped and we see buying out of it. Great. That's my long. Now, what could I have done better here? Well, if I know that we are in the overnight bearish, I could have waited for a power trade or imbalance through VWAP, because once again, VWAP is the level I want to see the acceleration through. Absolutely. But I was so convicted that in the already existing uptrend that this is going to act as demand that I was good enough with this trade. So I'd say this was a B+. If we would have initially bought through power trade, deep effort, imbalances through VWAP, great. Now we have an A+ trade. And we pull back down to this same level. I had about a 4 or 5 point stop, right? Held it here because I know this is my total invalidation point. The beauty of that is multiple power trades on the 1 minute, imbalance on the 1 minute, power trade on the 5 minute, value area low, imbalance on the 5 minute, deep effort there, right? Full alignment of trap sellers and buyers rewarded. That's going to be my invalidation point. If we come back down to this low and now see sellers step in, I can just be a part of the short, get in, put my stop at the top of it. Why? Because that's the initiation candle. If we see power trade, if we see imbalance, if we see deep effort through this low at value area low in demand, I know that is the initiation candle that's going to fuel the move down. I can still have a really tight stop. It works either way. You get to be a part of either trade, wherever the market's going to go. Same thing for the example on Friday on NQ. If I took that short, somehow we come back up, stop me out, and then we see power trade, deep effort, imbalances through the high, great. I know that's the initiation candle. That's where buyers are stepping in and they're now fueling the move up. I can be a part of that move now. Stop at the low. I don't have to put it all the way at VWAP because now we have more information. Sellers were trapped. Buyers are stepping in, right? So you just adjust your stop where your trade idea is. If my trade here is that this is the low at our level in the existing low, the trend in the context of the market, if we see sellers step in, I was wrong. I get to be a part of that now because sellers really are the aggressor at this location, right? So then we try to pull back down to this level. We do basically hit the imbalance yet again on the 1 minute. And isn't that just great? Obviously, power trade on the 5 minute. On the 1 minute, we've tried to come back down to the same imbalance power trades from earlier. And what do we see? Another end of auction where sellers are pretty aggressive on the way down at this level, but then there's no reward. In the second that we get down to this level, sellers don't want any more part of it. Buyers step back in, fueling another initial move up. And we see the buy imbalances on the way up. We see sellers try to sell yet again. Is there reward? Absolutely not. If you didn't get in on this initial short, what would be the next entry? Well, here we see buy imbalances on this move up, imbalance from trap sellers, sell imbalance, trap sellers, power trade, value area low. We run through a sell imbalance and create a buy imbalance. That could be the next one. That's the next great trade, right? Come back down to the level, try to hold again. What do we see here? No effort. There's effort here. More aggressive selling. What's the result? Push up of the 1 minute candle. New buy imbalance out of it. Great. If you're not in, I want to see acceptance. I want to see power trade. I want to see some kind of initiation through VWAP. Great. Now we have a buy imbalance created through VWAP, showing me even more so sellers are trapped. Buyers are the initiator here. Sellers are not stepping in the market. Great. That's my next trade. Even if you would have waited for VWAP, you get another excellent trade. And it may not look like much. 10 points. We'll take 10 points. And it actually goes up even more so. Then where do we reject from? Well, if this was the initial open where we have multiple sell imbalances, sell power trade with sell imbalances below VWAP, this is a strong level. Power trade imbalances, we would want to see what from seller or from buyers? Power trade, deep effort, imbalances through this level. What happens when we come up to this level? Do we see buy imbalances? Do we see deep effort through it? Do we see power trades? We don't. As a matter of fact, from this level, we see sellers out of it. So now sellers are defending this range. Great. Now this could be my short, tight stop. I want to see the same thing through VWAP. Do we see sellers rewarded through VWAP? We don't see power trades or sell imbalances, but now we see buy imbalances out of it. Great. Cool. Now do we see it? We don't. Okay, here we go. Now we see a sell imbalance back below VWAP. That's the short. Great. And this is how you just frame every trade. Gold, NQ, ES, silver, whatever asset you're trading, it doesn't matter. This is how I'm going to frame every single trade. Like I will go very in depth. I'm probably going to make a 3-hour video on this, 2.5 hours, and just go through so many examples. But like, we're not mechanical in entry, but we are mechanical in thought process and what I'm looking for. I want the location, value area high, low, VWAP, deviation band, supply, demand. I want the context, who's in control of the overall market. And then I need to see one side trapped through absorption, exhaustion, a lot of aggression with no reward, a lack of aggression to show me that they're not interested. And I need to see the other side step in to trap them to confirm at that level in the existing context that they're willing to push the market away from that level. Because if there's a lot of sellers at this low, right, we'll just use this as an example. If there's a lot of sellers at this low, when buyers step in and stop them out, what is that going to do? It's going to sweep the book. They're going to have to buy back their positions. And what's that going to look like? It's going to look like a buy imbalance because there's more aggressive buying coming in, sellers getting out of the market. So what does an imbalance tells us? What does it tell us? The market is moving through, it's moving and accelerating with little resistance. An imbalance tells us one side is overwhelming the other so much that there's little resistance and there's a lack of participation from the other side. So it should move to the next destination very easily. What's the next destination here? Well, it would have been these imbalances up here. What does it also align with though? If we go to 12, it would have been 12:30 a.m. at this level. If we go on deep charts, what does that level look like up until this point? And I think it's this right here. It is. What does it look like at this point? Well, obviously it's going to be the value area high. It's obviously where we see failed buying in the past. Also though, it's what? Where buyers have failed where buyers have been in the past before. So if we're not able to create power trades, deep effort, imbalances through this level to reclaim these buyers, then we're going to see more of the same and trade back off. So now we just have a range that we're balanced in. If we see power trade deep effort through this, great. I'm longing up to the value area high or up to the highs. And as long as I see initiation, acceptance, and I see the willingness to raise the market up through imbalances, deep effort, power trades, deep trades, all the above, I can stay in that trade. But the second I see it die out and I see the other side step in, I'm going to get out of that trade. I don't want to be in the market anymore if I'm in a long and sellers are now in control. I don't want to be in that trade anymore, right? You get to apply this to everything. Does this zone continue to hold? It absolutely does. Every time that we came into this level. So now we draw out the volume profile of the week even more, right? We'll just draw it out to this level. Obviously, it's weekly value area low. Lack of selling that's rewarded. But if we know this is a level of demand and we know that buyers buy out of it, it would take selling to be rewarded through this level for the market to move down. What do we see when we come down to these levels, right? A lot of selling with a push up, a lot of selling with a push up, a lot of selling with another push up. What does it look like on Quant Tower? It's all the same level, right? Power trade at imbalance, another imbalance. Does it have follow through? Well, actually it creates a power trade and an imbalance away from this level. Maybe you want to see a power trade imbalance through this level. Well, we're above VWAP. There we get it. Strong push up, right? What happens when we come back down to this zone? We know that this buy imbalance here, probably through this sell imbalance at the weekly value area low, where we've seen failure in the past, is continuing to hold. Do we see sell imbalances through it? Do we see deep effort through it? No. What I see is trap sellers at the imbalance and then buyers step in immediately, push up. What happens next time we revisit? Buy imbalance still holds at value area low in demand, not seeing any selling effort. Now I see buyers step out of it with a buy imbalance and buy power trades. Great, that's going to be the long, right? 10, 15, 20 points every time, reading the order flow, but all in alignment with what the market's doing, where it's at, okay? So not too long of a video today, but this is how I literally frame every single trade. If I live trade my Discord, and this is the same thought process that I go through. I've held trades too long. Which day was it? I think it was the 14th. It was right here. I took this short from VWAP, I think with the, it was with this power trade. And on the 1 minute, there was an imbalance here. And so it made sense for me to take it. Let me see it real quick. just so we can all be on the same page. Yeah, obviously there's no buy imbalances through VWAP. We see sell imbalances and power trades through VWAP. Same thing on the 1 minute. Now we have imbalances through VWAP, power trades through previous buy imbalances. Great. Power trade through an imbalance. Does it hold? Now we see power trades, sell imbalance, hold below VWAP, running through buy imbalances. That's going to be my short. Great. That's the short. 20 points, 10 points, wherever you get in at. The second that we see the power trades come in and we see that we can't create power trades or sell imbalances or sell effort through here, I should have got out. And I got stopped in profit. Why did I hold my trade when there wasn't any initiation from sellers? And then we see buyers buy out of it. Buy imbalances step in. Now we're running through sell imbalances and we get a push up. So that's the thought process. And you can see it on Quant Tower very well. Of course, you can see it on Deep Charts as well. Deep Charts is still amazing. It's a great platform, but I do like aligning them, and I'm going to continue aligning them. What else did we see here when we came down to this level? Weekly value area low. Do we see deep effort? Do we see sell imbalances through it? Here we do. Then when we get down to this low buy imbalance comes in, well, I don't want to take a long maybe until this sell imbalance gets ran through. It does. We rip up, right? Same information. Come back down to this same level. Continues to hold. We have our level here. What does it look like on Deep Charts? Well, I'm not seeing any deep effort, and then I see multiple deep effort zones out of it. This was the one that I should have, when I shorted up here, I should have got out after if I see 2, 3, 4 deep effort zones of bulls in a row, and it has acceleration at the imbalance, and I'm not seeing the sellers step in, well, I should get out. But it's not just because of the order flow, it's because it's at the location that sellers have failed before. They have failed to buy out of this before. So or to sell out of it before. They failed to see selling acceleration through it. So if we come down to this zone and I don't see selling acceleration and I see buyers step in, yeah, probably more response because there's no initiation from sellers. So buyers push the market back up. We come back down to the level again. Do we see sell imbalance? Do we see sell zones? No, we see a buy zone. So what happens? Sell deep trades. Is there reward? Is there follow through? No. We buy up out of it. Same thing the next day, right? Or later on in the session. At the lows, same level. It's like same exact level, guys. Sell zone. Okay, well, there's a lot of buy zones. I want to get this one ran through. It gets ran through with what? Buy imbalances at our location in the already existing uptrend. Buy imbalances would be there. Power trades would be there. And we rip up. Another 30 points on gold. It's that simple. It's literally that easy. Every single time. So I'm going to cut this one short. That is the framework for every single trade that I take. I have 3 videos already recorded. I'm going to be posting at least 1 a week. I'm going to try to do 2. Let me know in the comments too, like what more videos you guys want to see, more on power trades or like, Quant Tower settings, how I adjust my footprint as well on the 1 minute on Deep Charts, because I do have a Deep Charts template for my profiles. And like, if I really want to get into the deltas and look at where the majority of the volume is on the footprint on Deep Charts, you can do that as well. So just let me know what you guys want to see. I already have some recorded, so it'll probably answer your questions, but I'm open to just helping you guys, making sure that you see what I see and just everybody growing and learning order flow together. So I'll get this posted immediately, and then a lot more to come through the end of January. And by February, we're going to be doing 1 to 2 videos a week. So really excited about it. So I will see you guys in the next video.